Okay guys, welcome back to New Life Garage. We're working on the scooter again today. And what we've been doing is we've been changing tires. We've been playing with some different tires. I've got the original scooter tire right here. It's the original. They came on the scooter. And like I said, I switched these out because I was doing a lot of street riding this winter. I put on the same size street tire. This is a 90 by 65 by 6.5. Okay, what that means is 90 is how many millimeters we are wide from point to point. 65 is the percentage of the width, which equals the sidewall. And then 6.5, of course, is the rim. So, and that's pretty much true on most of your tires, car tires, everything. That first number's millimeters wide, so on and so forth. So, this is considered the exact same size tire as the Yume off-road tire comes with it. However, when you do your 90, it's out here on these edges, and we're a lot more rounded here. So I have room for a bigger tire. And I got these tires off of Amazon. I'm not recommending anybody get those tires off of Amazon because these tires are not technically made for the Yume scooter. They are scooter tires. There are things I like about them. There are things I don't like about them. I'm not going to go into that today. All I'm going to say is if you put these tires on your scooter, be careful. Monitor your tire pressures and your tire temperatures and all that stuff because you don't want to overheat your motors. But however, the street tire rides unbelievably amazing compared to the mud tire that comes on the scooter. So if you want to smooth out your ride and you don't do a lot of off-roading, get the street tires. I promise you, you'll love them. It is unbelievable the difference between the mud tire and the street tire. Now, I love the mud tire or the off-road tire. I've been up some steep inclines. Some inclines my van barely makes it up, like in gravel roads and stuff. And I've made it up on my scooter with the off-road tires, and you would never make it up with the street tires. So, you know, it's one of those sacrifices. So, this is a 90 by 65 by 6.5, which is the same as the factory. Now, this tire is going to have a footprint a little bit more like the off-road tire. But this tire is bigger. Now it's wider in width and then shorter in height. But that's based on the numbers. So this one is a 110 millimeters wide, okay, versus 90. And then we're 50 on the sidewall. So we're 50% on the sidewall where this one's 65%. When you do the math on it, this tire comes out to be just a tiny bit taller, and we're going to be about 3/4 of an inch wider. So we're going to go with this tire. I think it's going to fit just fine. I think I got enough room right up here to slip this tire in here because this tire is a little bit wider, but it's still rounded. It's not as flat of a footprint as the off-road tire. So I've already taken these nuts loose, and I've already cut the zip ties off. So we're going to do this back tire real quick, hopefully real quick. And then we're going to do the front tire. And again, I'm going to tell y'all something. This kit right here, it's if you can see that, this Wark kit, man, this thing right here, you need this on your scooter because it's got, these you don't use so much. This is the standard sizes, but it's even got the big Allen that you need for the swing arm over there. So it's got every Allen that you need. So you definitely need to get one of these. Anyway, I'm going to take these screws off real quick. We're going to hopefully make short work of this. Anyway, I played around with these street tires a lot the past 2 days. Here's what I don't like about these tires that you get on Amazon. There's nothing wrong with the tire. In this application, they tell you to run about 7 pounds of pressure in these tires. Well, you can't run 7 pounds of pressure in these tires. It doesn't work. They overheat. I could tell. I've got a thermal imaging gun, and you can shoot the temperature of the tire. and at 7 psi, they're getting way too hot. That's going to overheat your motors. That's not going to be good. Now, I didn't overheat my motors. I was doing this in real small intervals and checking the temperature often. And the other thing that I don't like, and this is true on all these tires, is these tubes, they don't fill all the way out to these edges. So what I ended up doing was I first went to 20 pounds on these tires, which was too much. I went down to 15, which was too little. So on these tires, the 90 by 65 by 6.5 street tires from Amazon, 18 pounds is where the temperature stayed normal and everything was fine. So I don't like that you have to change that much. I don't think there's going to be any issues with it, but that's why I'm not recommending that you guys do it. But the purpose of this video is to talk about the difference between off-road tire and the street tire and what your options may be through Yume or through whoever, because there's no telling what kind of tires they're going to offer, down the road. So I want to see if this 110 by 50 will fit, because if it will, then you guys will have that as an option, and I can be your guinea pig, and I'm fine with that. These back tires, I did a video yesterday about fixing a flat. These are important. These are more important than the nuts are, to be honest with you. The nuts that go on here, they don't have to be just extremely tight. You don't want them loose, but most importantly, you want them to hold this clip on there, because this clip is what keeps this axle from sliding off. So always keep a check on those when you're riding, whatever. Keep enough tools in your rig to keep up with that, because you don't want that getting loose. Now, on this back tire, you do got to, I don't know if you have to do it. There again, you have this washer. Remember, that goes on the side with the wire harness, because you have to have that clearance for that wire or you'll mess up your wires. So I don't know if you have to or not, but I loosen up my swing arm, and it makes it super easy to get this tire out. When it's all tight, it's pretty hard. So we're gonna flip this tire. You gotta be careful, because we got all the wires stretched out here. And that's why I'm sitting on this ice chest, because I need a little bit of support for when I was putting this on the leg. So this is the 90 by 65 by 6.5. This is what we're going to, which is a 110 by 50 by 6.5. There's not going to be a lot of differences in height or anything else. As you can see, they're really close to the same, if not exactly the same. But just going to have a wider footprint. That's what I want. Simple as that. You just slip that in. I mean, I love, the split rim. I really don't. The only thing I don't like about split rim is you got to run two. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But everything else, as far as if you're out and scooter ride and you're enjoying your scooter ride and you have a flat, this is way easier to fix than having to deal with a solid rim. What we gotta do is get those lined up, and with a little bit of luck, this is gonna go right together. Everybody cross your fingers at once. I think that's gonna help. If you got fingers. Here we go. Man, if this fits on here like I think it is. We're doing the back first, because I feel like if there's going to be a problem, it's going to be on the back. There's plenty of room on the front. I don't think there's going to be a problem on the back. I definitely don't think there's a problem on the back that I can't resolve with a couple of washers. And by a problem, we might have to open up this swing arm a little bit and put some washers on the inside. I think that's about the extent of it. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. But I really think we're going to be okay. I'm using my bigger drill today, not the one that I keep on my scooter, just because it's got plenty of battery and plenty of power, and I don't have to retorque anything. Alright. done lost a screw somewhere, but I'll find it. Now we're gonna put this back on here, and everything's gonna fit like a champ, and we're not gonna have any issues whatsoever. I feel it in my heart. Well, we'll see. Now keep in mind this axle's got some flat spots on it, so it's got to be rotated, and you got to have this lined up with your brake caliper. I'm gonna do this without dumping the scooter off my little stand here. So this stand that y'all see me using, I don't really have a use for it other than this. It's not a stand. It's really just a roll around chair that I spent 5 months in when I had my motorcycle wreck. I spent 5 months in this chair because it was really, really light. It was the easiest chair to get around in for me, because I had no use of my left leg, my left foot, my left arm, my left hand, everything on the left side. I had no use of almost for 5 months. So having a really light chair around that I can move with one foot, that's why I use this and not an actual wheelchair. Now, I don't have a lot of use for it now, but I still have it, and this is what I'm using it for today. And it's kind of handy, to be honest with you. Okay. Get this back on here. That brake caliper, boy, it'll get you. You gotta get that right in there. There we go. There we go. There we go. Man, this is looking, I think, fantastic. I actually think we could go bigger, but let's just stick with this for now. We still gotta tighten everything up. There we go. All right, I'm gonna tighten this swing arm back up. Make sure we got the clearance that we need. Slide it back a little bit without knocking it off. Give me my tool back, thank you. All right. Woo-hoo. I am excited right now. This is working out really well. All right. I'm gonna look over here. These tires are really super easy to change. These tires that I bought on Amazon, they weren't expensive. I mean, and they come with the tubes. So this tire was $21 with the tube. So if the tire didn't fit, I could still use the tube for one of my other tires. So it's not a big deal. Look at that. There's no problems with that fitting at all. So I know we're going to be good on the front. Okay, so this is the new back tire. This is the one that I was running. Like I said, there's not a lot of difference in those. It's I think it's just around 3/4 of an inch width, and really close to the same height. But when you air this tire up, it's got a real skinny footprint on the ground, which was fine. And this was the original off-road tire. Okay, let's turn this around and do it again. I think I loosened these up. Yep, I did. I'm gonna lay this scooter back for this one because it's easier. You got it laid back. Yeah, the other side to do it, I guess. There we go. Now in the end, you gotta cut these. You gotta cut these zip ties and stuff off of these wires. You gotta be sure and put those back on when you're done. Because if you don't, your wires are gonna get caught up in things you don't want them caught up in. And then you're going to damage your wiring harness, which you don't want to do. Okay. There again, these washers seem to stick on the front. I mean, they fit in there real nice and tight. So. Not hard to get out, but you just come on. There we go. And then there again, same thing as on the back. We have that special washer on this front that fits on there. I done dropped both of them. All right, now. On with the wires, don't forget. I know you won't forget, but I don't want anybody to have any issues. Things are supposed to be part of our fun time. And if y'all, if there's somebody watching this video that don't have a scooter yet, man, get you one, because I've gotten older. I don't like to go for walks. I walk all day. I don't need any extra walking time. But I do like to get outside. I do like to enjoy the outdoors, and this is a good way to enjoy the outdoors. So makes it fun. A lot more enjoyable, than just sitting around the house. So. Get this right here. Now these tread patterns, a lot of people don't understand this, but this tread pattern, when it rolls this way, it's designed, we don't ride our scooters in the rain, so it really doesn't matter. But it's designed to push the water from the center to the outside of the tire. That way the tire doesn't have any lifting issues. We don't ride in the water, so it don't matter, but that's why the tires go on a certain way. They're not really directional tires, but for what we do, you're really not going to have an issue if you put it on backwards. But if I put it on backwards, I'd have to take the whole thing apart and put it back right, because that just would drive me nuts. So I'm going to do this. I'll double check it, triple check it. And so this tire will be on here like this, because we air up from that right side. So I got it right. So there's some things that won't bother anybody, but man, they bother me. And having that tire running backwards would bother me. dropped all the step screws. I could drop these again, but yeah, if you haven't bought you one, I really encourage you to. These are, and I really like the Yume company. I mean, you can buy whatever you want to buy. I mean, but I like Yume. I've had good luck with this. We've got, I'm trying to think how many we have of these things now. We've got, between me and my friends, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. We got at least 7 these scooters. 6 of them are these Y11s. We haven't had any issues with them. Everybody loves them. No one's having any problems out of them. And then we got 1 of the X13s. And that thing is a beast. I promise you, that is a. There's only one thing that would keep you from getting that scooter, other than price. And I'm gonna tell you what the deciding factor is. It is the weight. If you have to pick that up, that's a problem, because it is. They tell you on the website it's 100 pounds. It is not 100 pounds. This one is 100 pounds. The X13 is 145 pounds. We weighed them. We picked them up. We put them on a scale. I can pick this one up by myself most times. It took 3 of us to get that X13 actually on the scale without dropping it. Now, one person can pick it up, of course, but we were trying to be careful with it. We were trying not to hurt anything. But that's an undertaking. If you got to put that in a vehicle of any kind, that's going to be a problem for some people. It'd be a problem for me. So I'd like to have one, and I probably will have one someday. But it'll be the one that I leave here at the house and that I just drive out of the garage and I go right down the road. It's not going to be one that I load up, at least not without a motorcycle ramp or something. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these scooters. That X13 is a wonderful scooter, man. I don't know that you could find one that drives or rides better than the X13. But like I said, that definitely is a deciding factor when you're dealing with that kind of weight. It's heavy. I mean, you could use a motorcycle ramp or whatever, depending on what you got to load it up in. It does fold down. 2 people can handle it. But if you're trying to load that thing into a back of an SUV or something like that, my van is pretty easy to load stuff in. I don't have that many issues. So if you got a van, it's not that bad. But everything else, wow, it's a lot. It is a lot. Oh yeah, you're gonna do like that. Get in there. All right. Oh, I hope I didn't get out of the camera. You have. You gotta get this thing in there. One little clip. Those clips are important. I was telling you, it's that washer for this axle has that little tab on it. It goes into that little slotted hole, and that's what keeps this axle from sliding down. The nut keeps that washer up against the fork, but that little peg's what keeps it from sliding down. So if your lug gets a little bit loose, your tire don't just fall off when you go pop a wheelies. All right. Other than tightening up a few things, and I'm missing one screw. I'm gonna find it in a minute. When my tire fell, I dropped a screw. So, but the tires do fit. So 110 by 50 by 6.5. That does fit on the Yume scooter in a straight tire. I'm going to cut the video off, and then I'm going to air the tires up. I'm probably going to start with about 18 pounds of air, because that's what I end up with on them. And I'm going to get this zip tied up. This is zip tied up to here. You want to make sure it's not kinked and routed properly. This gets one zip tie. You can put as many as you want. You're not going to hurt anything. Back here, you got to do 2 zip ties. You got to do one right here and one right here. And I'm probably going to put one up here. It takes 2 back here though. And that's so you don't get up into that tire. But anyway, that's it on changing these tires out. I just want everybody to know that the 110 by 50 will fit. And then I'm going to do a little bit of testing today. After I air up the tires, we're going to see if it changes any of the speeds or anything like that. And let me just turn this camera around. So we'll check and see if any of the speeds or anything like that changes on the top end and stuff. You get a little bit of glare there, don't we? That's okay. I just got off work. Still got my work shirt on. Got off work a little bit early today. But we'll check the speeds, top end, the cruising speeds in the different gears on it, and I'll release a video and let y'all know. But I will definitely tell you, these things are like, I'm just guessing, 50% quieter on street tires and 50% smoother. It's a big difference, and definitely worth the effort. And anyway, so I'm gonna get off here, and I'm gonna finish this up and then go for a little ride, and then I'll let y'all know. Y'all have a good day.